I wanted to go to Europe to film this series in part because of Jobst Bittner and his church in Tübingen, Germany. Sandra, I saw pictures and heard the story. Jobst pioneered a church, and he was given land at a rail yard where they used to ship Jews to the concentration camp. And what he wanted to do, he left the tracks there.
I know.
So everyone that goes into the building has to remember what happened to Jews in Germany. I figure I want to tell this guy's story.
Yeah, no kid. Can you imagine being a parishioner and walking across that railroad track every single time you went to the church?
Right.
Every single time. It would have to have some kind of effect on you.
Right. Now, they walk over the memory of the Holocaust.
Right.
But Jobst mobilized his church of a few hundred to walk along the path of the Holocaust.
I just cannot imagine what those people must be feeling as they're walking in the march. I cannot imagine.
Well, it was moving. We started off at a boardwalk area where it all began, and we marched this distance. There was a time when Hitler sent everybody on a death march.
Yeah, but this is a life march.
Here today with Jobst Bittner and Tina Pompey in southern Germany. So good to be here with you.
Und vor 4 Jahren haben wir eine Zeit von sehr tiefgehender Buße gehabt.
But 4 years ago we had a time of very deep repentance.
Wo der Herr zu uns gesprochen hat, gesagt hat, der Antisemitismus ist in euch.
Where the Lord spoke to us saying, anti-Semitism is in you.
Und euer Antisemitismus ist euer Schweigen.
And your anti-Semitism is your silence.
Und wir haben unter Tränen darüber Buße getan.
And we were weeping and repenting.
Und mein ganzes Denken und meine ganze Theologie und meine Verkündigung hat sich verändert.
And all of my mindset, my message, my theology has changed.
Weil wenn wir nicht eingepflanzt sind in die jüdische Wurzel,
Because unless we are rooted in our Jewish roots,
sind wir abgeschnitten von den Quellen unseres Segens.
we are cut off from the source of our
Und
blessing.
wir fingen an, das zu verkündigen.
And that's what we started proclaiming.
Wir fingen an, Chanukka zu feiern bei uns in Tübingen,
We started celebrating Hanukkah in our city of
die
Tübingen.
jüdischen Feste zu
We
feiern,
started keeping the Jewish feasts.
Chanukka-Leuchter in unsere Gemeinde zu
We
stellen.
had a Hanukkah lampstand in our church.
Und wir fingen an, einfach unsere Tanzgruppe umzustellen.
And we started changing even our dance team.
Und wir fingen an, gesegnet zu werden.
And suddenly we saw blessing
Wir
come.
sahen Veränderungen in unserer Stadt,
We saw changes in our city
wo wir so viele Widerstände erlebt hatten.
where we'd seen so much resistance before.
So, wir sind gesegnet aus
So
Israel.
we are blessed. We've received blessing
Und das
from
ist
Israel.
eigentlich keine Theologie.
And that's not really a theology.
Das ist unser Leben,
It's our life.
unsere Herzenshaltung.
It's our heart.
My God. So they must have wondered, what happened here? The emotion ran high that day as hundreds poured into this infamous death camp. And they came with a word of life to a vanquished people, principally to remind moderns that we have to stand up, we have to speak up. I spoke with these individuals. Some washed my feet, in fact, at a church service a few nights before. The sons of stormtroopers said, "Please forgive the sins of my parents." And their hearts bled as they considered the past.
We were able to catch up with Pastor Jobst and Tina, his translator, to get their thoughts and find out what was meaningful for them as they entered into Dachau.
Also für mich war der Marsch von Allach bis nach Dachau, das war für mich das stärkste geistliche Erlebnis, das ich bis jetzt erlebt habe.
For me, the march going from Allach to Dachau was the most spiritually intense experience I've ever had.
Wir haben solche Wanderungen ja schon öfter gemacht.
We've done several of these marches before.
So, der längste war von Berlin nach Moskau, das waren 2000 Kilometer.
The longest being from Berlin to Moscow, that was 2,000 kilometers.
Oder wir sind einmal durchs Tschernobyl-Gebiet gegangen.
And once we were walking through the area affected by Chernobyl.
Das waren schon immer auch spezielle Zeiten.
And there were always very special times.
Und auch, wo wir sehr herausgefordert waren.
And we were also very challenged through them.
Aber jetzt diese Wanderung
But
hatte
this
was ganz
march
Besonderes.
had something very special about
Das
it.
eine war, dass einfach eine besondere Herrlichkeit und Gegenwart Gottes da war.
The one thing was that the glory and the presence of God was there in a very special way.
Aber als wir dann von Allach losgegangen sind nach Dachau, mit den Fahnen zusammen, mit dem gelben Davidsstern,
But then when we were walking from Allach to Dachau, we took the flags, we were wearing the yellow stars.
da war eine interessante Mischung.
There was an interesting
Das
mixture.
eine war die Schmerz und Zerbrochenheit, einfach warum wir gegangen sind.
The one thing was the pain, the brokenness, why we went there in the first place.
Einfach unsere Identifikation mit dem Tod von Millionen von Juden.
And our identification with the death of millions of Jews.
Und auf der anderen Seite war da wie eine stille Freude.
But on the other hand, it was like a quiet joy,
Eine Freiheit,
a freedom,
wie eine Familie, die zusammenging.
like a family walking together,
Eine Identität, die wir gemeinsam hatten.
a common identity that we
Und
had.
so etwas habe ich so noch nie erlebt.
And I've never experienced anything like it before.
And lift up their voices they do, here in what many would characterize as a liberal college town in Tübingen, Germany. Pastor Jobst and the congregation aren't afraid to proclaim the name of Yeshua, Jesus, and sound the alarm the world over. Pastor Jobst Bittner caught a vision for the Jewish roots of Jesus. The Lord put a burden on his heart and he spoke up boldly, and the church got behind him on the vision.